Let us examine the exact numbers in your bank account and the psychological trap keeping them dangerously low. You earn more money than your parents did at your exact age. You hold a university degree that was supposed to guarantee permanent financial security. Yet, a sudden $400 expense sends you into a silent, desperate panic. Right now, across major European markets like London and Berlin, economists are tracking a massive behavioral shift where high-earning professionals are actively abandoning the housing market. Financial institutions label this an economic crisis. I call it a highly predictable outcome of a rigged system. You are watching this because you are exhausted from playing a financial game you cannot mathematically win. You make $75,000 a year, but you live paycheck to paycheck, paralyzed by an invisible pressure. By the end of this analysis, you will understand exactly how the modern economy was engineered to extract your wealth. More importantly, you will learn the precise, practical mindset required to stop bleeding capital, weaponize your income, and take back absolute control of your financial reality. The foundation of your financial anxiety was laid in the year 2008. Society handed you a very specific, unbreakable formula for success. Sign the papers, take the massive student loans, and acquire the degree. You were told this was the safest investment in human history. It was not an investment. It was a sophisticated wealth extraction mechanism. You graduated directly into the worst financial collapse since the Great Depression. The promised high-paying careers simply vanished, replaced by unpaid internships and volatile contract work. However, the debt remained. The average young professional currently holds $33,000 in student loans. This debt cannot be erased through bankruptcy, and it silently compounds while you sleep. For older generations, debt was a temporary failure. For you, the system engineered debt to be your permanent baseline. This constant state of deficit permanently altered how your brain processes risk and reward. You stopped planning for a 10-year future because that future became mathematically unaffordable, forcing you into a constant state of financial survival. Because you cannot afford to buy the world, you have been forced into a system where you rent it. Look at your monthly bank statements. You refuse to buy a single $15 item outright, but you seamlessly pay $12.99 every single month for streaming platforms indefinitely. You rent digital storage, software packages, meal kits, and even basic transportation. Traditional financial advisors mock this behavior as wasteful and impulsive. They completely fail to grasp the cold mathematics of your reality. The median home price now requires an $80,000 cash down payment. A house is no longer a traditional milestone. It is a mathematical impossibility for the working class. The modern economy removed permanent ownership from the table, so your brain logically built a life around temporary access. Paying a small monthly fee does not trigger your brain's financial defense mechanisms. It acts as a psychological anesthetic. You are slowly draining your long-term wealth through 100 minor transactions simply because the system forcefully priced you out of the major ones. We now arrive at the core of your daily financial habits and the concept of calculated nihilism. You are not broke because you lack basic discipline. You are broke because you look at an economy ravaged by historic inflation, and you realize that saving $500 a month will never bridge the gap to true wealth. So, you deliberately choose to spend $1,200 on a trip to Italy instead of funding a retirement account that might collapse in the next market crash. In the year 2023, financial institutions finally identified this behavior as doom spending. You buy the premium coffee or the expensive dinner because it provides an immediate, controllable hit of dopamine in a macroeconomic environment completely outside of your control. It is an act of self-medication. You are purchasing tiny fragments of autonomy. The system failed to deliver on its promises, so you logically decided to extract immediate pleasure rather than sacrifice your youth for a retirement that constantly moves further out of reach. It is time to completely eliminate the guilt associated with your financial status. The anxiety you carry is a manufactured product, designed to keep you compliant and working. You followed every rule society dictated, and you still lost. Your spending habits are not a sign of personal failure, but a perfectly rational adaptation to a deeply flawed economic structure. Do not let outdated metrics like home ownership or a massive pension plan define your success. The moment you recognize the game is rigged, you strip it of its power over you. Stop trying to win a game that was never meant for you to win. Protect your liquid capital relentlessly. Instead of saving for phantom real estate, invest your money into portable skills, digital assets, and geographic flexibility that cannot be tied down or heavily taxed by failing governments. Acknowledge the trap you were placed in. Adapt your strategy immediately. Control your immediate reality and leave the outdated financial playbook exactly where it belongs, in the past.